For many years, the public has seen Prince William as a calm, responsible, and steady figure within the British royal family. He often appears composed during public events, speaks carefully, and presents himself as someone who values duty above all else. However, behind this calm image, there may be a very different story unfolding. Recent discussions and rumors have suggested that tensions within the royal family are much deeper than what the public sees. These tensions are said to involve Queen Camilla, who has long had a complicated relationship with William. According to these reports, a serious situation involving financial matters has created a major conflict between them. The idea that William could take strong action against someone so close to the center of the monarchy has shocked many people. It raises questions about loyalty, trust, and the real dynamics inside the palace. While the royal family has always tried to present a united and peaceful image, history has shown that internal struggles are not uncommon. The difference now is that modern media and social platforms quickly spread any rumor or controversy, making it much harder for such matters to remain private. If these claims are true, they could represent one of the most serious internal challenges the royal family has faced in recent years. Many observers are now wondering what could have pushed William to take such a bold step. Was it a personal decision driven by long-standing emotions, or was it something he felt he had to do to protect the future of the monarchy? These questions have sparked intense debate among royal watchers and the general public. Some people see William as a figure trying to bring honesty and accountability, while others worry that such actions could create even more division within the family. Regardless of the truth, the situation highlights how even the most respected institutions can face moments of crisis. It also reminds us that behind titles and ceremonies, the royal family is still made up of individuals dealing with complex emotions, relationships, and responsibilities. As more details continue to emerge, the story has captured global attention, with many waiting to see how it will develop and what impact it may have on the future of the monarchy. The relationship between Prince William and Queen Camilla has never been simple, and to understand the current situation, it is important to look at their past. When Camilla became part of the royal family through her marriage to King Charles III, it was already a sensitive issue. This was largely because of the history involving Princess Diana, William's mother, who remains deeply loved and respected by the public. For William, Camilla's presence may have been a constant reminder of painful moments from the past. Although both sides made efforts to maintain a polite and respectful relationship in public, many observers believed that there was always a certain distance between them. They appeared together at official events and fulfilled their duties, but their interactions often seemed formal rather than warm. Over time, this created an impression that their relationship was based more on necessity than genuine closeness. Reports suggest that while Camilla tried to build a connection through small gestures, these efforts did not fully remove the emotional barriers. On the other hand, William remained focused on his own family and responsibilities, especially his role as a future king. This quiet tension may not have caused open conflict for many years, but it created a fragile balance. When new allegations and financial concerns entered the picture, this already delicate relationship may have reached a breaking point. It is often said that unresolved issues can grow stronger over time, and this situation seems to reflect that idea. What may have once been silent discomfort could have turned into open disagreement when trust was questioned. For the public, this adds another layer of interest to the story, as it connects current events to a long and emotional history. It also shows how personal experiences can influence major decisions, even within powerful institutions. As people discuss these developments, they are not only focusing on the financial claims but also on the deeper human story behind them. The relationship between William and Camilla has become a key part of understanding why this situation has gained so much attention and why it feels so significant to many observers around the world. At the center of the current controversy are serious allegations involving financial matters connected to Queen Camilla. According to various reports and discussions, there are claims that certain funds may have been used in ways that raise concerns. These claims suggest that money intended for official purposes, such as supporting royal duties or charitable work, may not have been handled as expected. It is important to note that such allegations have not been officially confirmed, but they have still created a strong reaction from the public. When financial integrity is questioned, especially within an institution like the monarchy, it can quickly become a major issue. The royal family has long relied on public trust and respect, and any suggestion of misuse of funds can damage that image. In this situation, Prince William is said to have taken a firm position, possibly even deciding to cut off financial support connected to Camilla's extended family. If true, this would be a very bold move, as it signals a willingness to take action even when it involves close family members. The impact of such a decision could be far-reaching. It could change how financial matters are handled within the royal household and set a new standard for accountability. At the same time, it could also create tension and division within the family, making it harder to maintain unity. Public reaction has been mixed, with some people supporting the idea of strict accountability, while others feel that the situation may be more complex than it appears. The media has played a major role in shaping this discussion, with headlines often focusing on the most dramatic aspects of the story. This has increased interest but also made it difficult to separate fact from speculation. In today's digital age, stories can spread quickly, and opinions can form just as fast. As a result, the allegations have become a global topic of conversation, drawing attention from people who may not usually follow royal news. Whether these claims are proven or not, they have already had a significant impact by bringing attention to issues of transparency and responsibility. They have also highlighted the challenges faced by modern institutions as they try to balance tradition with the expectations of a more informed and questioning public. One of the most talked about parts of this story is the idea of a direct confrontation between Prince William and Queen Camilla. According to the narrative, William presented evidence and openly challenged Camilla regarding the allegations. While such scenes are often described in a dramatic way, they represent a possible turning point in the situation. If such a confrontation did take place, it would mark a shift from quiet tension to open conflict. For someone like William, who is known for his careful and measured approach, taking such a step would suggest that he believed the matter was extremely serious. It also reflects a broader theme of accountability, where even powerful individuals are expected to answer difficult questions. On the other hand, this kind of confrontation could also increase emotional strain within the family. Family relationships are often complicated, and when they are combined with public roles and responsibilities, they become even more challenging. The involvement of King Charles III adds another layer to the situation. As both a father and a king, he would be placed in a difficult position, trying to balance personal loyalty with public duty. Reports suggest that he may have preferred to handle the matter privately, but the growing attention made that difficult. This highlights a key challenge for the royal family, maintaining privacy in a world where information spreads quickly. The idea of a dramatic turning point also keeps audiences engaged, as it creates a sense of movement in the story. People are naturally drawn to moments where decisions are made and actions are taken. In this case, the confrontation represents a moment where hidden tensions come to the surface, forcing everyone involved to respond. Whether fully accurate or partly shaped by storytelling, this part of the narrative has become central to how the situation is understood. It shows how quickly a private issue can become a public event, especially when it involves well-known figures. The reaction to this story has been strong and widespread, showing how much interest people have in the lives of the royal family. News outlets, social media platforms, and online discussions have all played a role in spreading the story and shaping opinions. Many people have expressed shock at the allegations, while others have questioned whether the situation has been exaggerated for attention. The role of the media is especially important here, as it often decides which details are highlighted and how they are presented. Sensational headlines can attract more viewers, but they can also make the situation seem more dramatic than it actually is. In this case, the idea of a major conflict involving Prince William and Queen Camilla has captured attention around the world. Some people see William as someone trying to protect the integrity of the monarchy, while others believe that such internal issues should be handled quietly. The debate reflects a broader question about how much transparency is expected from public figures. In the past, the royal family was able to keep many matters private, but today's environment makes that much harder. Every detail can be shared, discussed, and analyzed by millions of people within minutes. This creates both opportunities and challenges. On one hand, it allows for greater accountability and public awareness. On the other hand, it increases the risk of misinformation and misunderstanding. As the story continues to develop, public opinion may change depending on what new information becomes available. The media will likely continue to play a key role in shaping that opinion, highlighting certain aspects while downplaying others. For viewers and readers, it is important to approach such stories with a critical mind, recognizing that not everything reported may be fully accurate. At the same time, the strong reaction shows how deeply people care about the values represented by the monarchy, such as trust, responsibility, and fairness. Looking ahead, this situation could have important effects on the future of the royal family and how it is viewed by the public. If the allegations and actions described in this story are even partly true, they could lead to changes in how financial matters are managed within the royal household. There may be greater focus on transparency and accountability, with stricter rules to prevent similar issues in the future. For Prince William, this could strengthen his image as a leader who is willing to take difficult decisions to protect the institution he represents. At the same time, it could also create challenges in his personal relationships, especially if those decisions affect family members like Queen Camilla. For King Charles III, the situation may require careful handling to maintain stability while addressing concerns. The monarchy has survived many challenges in the past, but each new situation brings its own difficulties. Public trust is a key factor, and once it is questioned, it can take time to rebuild. This story also reflects a larger shift in expectations, where even long-standing institutions are expected to operate with openness and fairness. People today are more willing to ask questions and demand answers, especially when it comes to the use of money and power. As a result, the royal family may need to adapt to these changing expectations. While it is still unclear how the situation will fully develop, it has already sparked important conversations about leadership, responsibility, and trust. Whether the story turns out to be fully accurate, partly true, or exaggerated, its impact lies in the way it has captured attention and encouraged discussion. In the end, the future of the monarchy will depend not only on how it handles this situation, but also on how it responds to the evolving expectations of the public it represents. Beyond the headlines and public discussions, this situation also carries a deep emotional weight for everyone involved. For Prince William, the issue may not be only about financial concerns or public responsibility, but also about personal history and values. Growing up in the spotlight, he experienced both privilege and pain, especially following the loss of his mother, Princess Diana. Her memory continues to shape how he sees the world and the role he must play within the royal family. Many observers believe that his strong reactions in this situation may be influenced by a desire to protect the kind of values Diana stood for, such as fairness, compassion, and honesty. If he feels that those values are being challenged, it could explain why he appears so firm in his actions. On the other hand, for Queen Camilla, the situation may feel like a sudden shift after years of slowly building her position within the royal family. She has spent a long time working to gain public acceptance and to establish a role beside King Charles III. Facing such serious accusations, especially from within the family, could be both shocking and damaging on a personal level. It may also create a sense of isolation as public opinion becomes divided and intense. Meanwhile, Charles himself is likely facing one of the most difficult moments of his life. As both a husband and a father, he is caught between two sides that he deeply cares about. Balancing these roles is not easy, especially when the situation has become so public. Emotions, loyalty, and duty are all pulling in different directions, making every decision more complicated. This emotional dimension is important because it reminds us that behind the formal titles and public appearances, these are real people dealing with real challenges. The pressure they face is not only about maintaining an institution, but also about managing relationships that are deeply personal. For the audience, understanding this emotional side can make the story feel more relatable and human. It shifts the focus from simple blame to a more complex picture where different perspectives and feelings must be considered. In many ways, this emotional tension is what makes the story so powerful, as it combines personal struggles with public consequences in a way that captures attention and sparks discussion. Another important aspect of this situation is the role of power and responsibility within the royal family. The monarchy is not just a symbol, it is also an institution with influence, resources, and a global audience. Because of this, every action taken by its members can have a wide impact. Prince William is often seen as someone who represents the future of the monarchy, and with that comes a strong sense of responsibility. If he believes that certain actions could harm the reputation of the institution, he may feel it is his duty to step in, even if it leads to conflict. This idea of responsibility is closely connected to the image of the monarchy. For many years, the royal family has worked carefully to maintain a sense of dignity, stability, and trust. However, in today's world, maintaining that image has become more difficult. Information spreads quickly, and public expectations have changed. People now expect transparency and accountability from public figures, including members of the royal family. In this context, the allegations involving Queen Camilla become more than just a personal issue. They become a question about how the monarchy operates as a whole. If the public begins to doubt the fairness or honesty of those in power, it can weaken the entire institution. At the same time, the way the situation is handled will also shape public perception. Taking strong action could be seen as a sign of integrity, but it could also be viewed as creating division. On the other hand, choosing to handle matters quietly might protect relationships in the short term, but could raise questions about transparency. This balance between power, responsibility, and image is a constant challenge for the royal family. It requires careful decision-making and an understanding of how actions will be interpreted by the public. The current situation highlights how difficult this balance can be, especially when emotions and personal relationships are involved. It also shows how the role of a modern royal figure is changing, with greater emphasis on accountability and openness. As people continue to follow the story, they are not only watching what happens next, but also considering what it says about leadership and responsibility in today's world. In situations like this, rumors and public perception can play a powerful role in shaping the story. Even when details are not fully confirmed, repeated discussions can make certain ideas feel more real to the audience. This is especially true in the case of well-known figures like Prince William and Queen Camilla, whose lives are constantly followed by the media. Once a story begins to spread, it can quickly grow, with new details being added and interpreted in different ways. Social media platforms make this process even faster, allowing millions of people to share their opinions and reactions almost instantly. As a result, the line between fact and speculation can become unclear. In this case, the idea of a financial scandal and a strong response from William has captured attention because it combines elements of drama, power, and personal conflict. These are themes that naturally attract interest and discussion. However, they also increase the risk of exaggeration. Some parts of the story may be based on real concerns, while others may be influenced by storytelling techniques designed to make the narrative more engaging. For the public, this creates a challenge. It becomes important to consider the sources of information and to recognize that not everything presented may be fully accurate. At the same time, the strong reaction shows how much people care about issues like fairness and accountability. Even if some details are uncertain, the underlying themes resonate with audiences. They reflect broader concerns about how power is used and how institutions respond to criticism. For the royal family, managing public perception is a key part of maintaining trust. This means not only addressing any real issues, but also communicating clearly and effectively with the public. In a situation where rumors are spreading quickly, silence can sometimes create more questions than answers. On the other hand, responding too quickly without full information can also lead to confusion. Finding the right approach requires careful judgment and an understanding of how information